virtual meeting class. I am glad to share with you another meeting full of knowledge. Last meeting, we discussed about the different types of nonverbal messages, effective communication skills, and intercultural communication, right? Were you able to observe those nonverbal messages among your family members? Share us what you have observed in the comment box. So, as what was promised with you last meeting, I will answer some of the unanswered questions you have posted, which will be answered at the end of this session. You may post any of your questions also at the end of our discussion. For our meeting today, these are the competencies we wish to develop. Engages, engages in a communicative situation using acceptable, polite, and meaningful communicative strategies. 2. Explains that a shift in speech context, speech style, speech act, and communicative strategy affects the following: language form, duration of interaction, relationship of speaker, role and responsibilities of the speaker, message, and delivery. I told you that we will be discussing types of communicative strategy for today. But first off, we have to discuss about communicative competence, which help us understand that as we acquire and develop communication skills, we are becoming competent speakers. And to be able to say that we are communicative competent, we should be able to develop the four different areas of communicative competence, which I will show you as we go along the discussion. Communicative competence. It is the ability of an individual to understand and use language effectively to communicate in a wide variety of contexts and for a variety of purposes. However, mastering the language is not an assurance that one is capable to communicate effectively. Thus, it is indeed important to understand the four areas that constitute communicative competence. So here are the four areas. First one is linguistic competence. This one pertains to the understanding and using of vocabulary, language conventions, and syntax. Two is strategic competence. This one uses techniques to overcome language gaps, plans and assess the effectiveness of communication, achieve conversational and written fluency, modify text for audience and purpose. Third is we have social linguistic competence. It is having awareness of social rules of language, nonverbal behaviors, cultural references. The fourth one is discourse competence, understanding how ideas are connected through patterns of organization, conjunction, or transition words. People communicate every day to establish and maintain relationships, know and understand themselves, and find meaning in their daily grind. Moreover, since humans are social beings who survive more effectively through sensible discourses, they are always driven to learn the skills of creating and sustaining meaningful conversations. Successful communication requires understanding of the relationship between words and sentences and the speech acts they represent. However, a conversation may be complex at times. That is why some people get lost along the way and misunderstand each other. It is only when we willingly cooperate and speak in socially approved ways that we can make a conversation meaningful. That is why let us now discuss the types of communicative strategy. Communicative strategy is any method which a learner uses to overcome his or her inadequacies when speaking a second language. So here is the first type. Nomination. It is a speaker carries out nomination to collaboratively and productively establish a topic. Basically, when you employ this strategy, you try to open a topic with the people you are talking to. When beginning a topic in a conversation, especially if it does not arise from a previous topic, you may start off with news inquiries and news announcements as they promise extended talk. Most importantly, keep the conversational environment open for opinions until the prior topic shuts down easily and initiates a smooth end. This could efficiently signal the beginning of a new topic in the conversation. Number two, restriction. Restriction in communication refers to any limitation you have as a speaker. When communicating in the classroom, in a meeting, or while hanging out with your friends, you are typically given specific instructions that you must follow. These instructions confine you as a speaker and limit what you can say, from the word restriction. For example, in your class, you might be asked by your teacher to brainstorm on peer pressure or deliver a speech on media literacy. In these cases, you cannot decide to talk about something else. On the other hand, conversing with your friends during ordinary days can be far more casual than these examples. Just the same, remember to always be on point and avoid sideswiping from the topic during the conversation to avoid communication breakdown. Third type, turn taking. Sometimes people are given unequal opportunities to talk because others take much time during the conversation. Turn taking pertains to the process by which people decide who takes the conversational floor. There is a code of behavior behind establishing and sustaining a productive conversation. But the primary idea is to give all communicators a chance to speak. Remember to keep your words relevant and reasonably short enough to express your views or feelings. Remember conciseness. And try to be polite even if you are trying to take the floor from another speaker. That's courteousness. Do not hog a conversation and talk incessantly without letting the other party air out their own ideas. To acknowledge others, you may employ visual signals like a nod, look, or a step back. And you could imply these signals with spoken cues such as, what do you think? What do you have in mind? You wanted to say something? Those things. 4. Topic control. Topic control covers how procedural, formality, or informality affects the development of topic in conversations. For example, in meetings, you may only have a turn to speak after the chairperson directs you to do so. In contrast with a casual conversation with friends over lunch or coffee, where you may take the conversational floor anytime. So you see now the differences. Remember that regardless of the formality of the context, topic control is achieved cooperatively. This only means that when a topic is initiated, it should be collectively developed by avoiding unnecessary interruptions and topic shifts. That is why agenda during meetings should be introduced first to be faithful on what should be talked about. You can make yourself actively involved in the conversation without overly dominating it by using minimal responses like, yes, okay, go on, asking tag questions to clarify information briefly like, you are excited, aren't you? It was unexpected, wasn't it? And even by laughing. Fifth type is topic shifting. Topic shifting, as the name suggests, involves moving from one topic to another. In other words, it is where one part of a conversation ends and where another begins. When shifting from one topic to another, you have to be very intuitive. Make sure that the previous topic was nurtured enough to generate adequate views. You may also use effective conversational transitions to indicate a shift like, by the way, in addition to what you said, which reminds me of, and the like. Sixth strategy is repair. Repair refers to how speakers address the problems in speaking, listening, and comprehending that they may encounter in a conversation. For example, if everybody in the conversation seems to talk at the same time, give way and appreciate others' initiative to set the conversation back to its topic. Repair is a self-righting mechanism in any social interaction. If there is a problem in understanding the conversation, speakers will always try to address and correct it. Although this is the case, always seek to initiate the repair. Last, for number 7, termination refers to the conversation participants' close initiating expressions that end a topic in a conversation. Most of the time, the topic initiator takes responsibility to signal the end of the discussion as well. Although not all topics may have clear ends, try to signal the end of the topic through concluding cues. You can do this by sharing what you learned from the conversation. Aside from this, Soliciting agreement from the other participants usually completes the discussion of the topic meaningfully. I hope you get that 7 types of communicative strategies because it's time for activity time. Identify which communicative strategy was used in the following expressions. So I have here 10 sets of expressions and you will try to identify what type of strategy was used in them. For number 1, you may share your answer at the comment box below. Do you have anything to say? What do you think is the communicative strategy? What does it imply? Okay, it's turn taking. Next, one of the essential lessons I gained from the discussion is the importance of sports and wellness to a healthy lifestyle. Okay, let me give you a clue. So here is noting that there is a lesson learned, okay, from a certain topic. What could be the answer? It's termination because it's the end of a certain line. Next, excuse me, I think you should speak one at a time so we can clearly understand what you want to say about the issue. What kind of communicative strategy was used in this statement? It is repair. Number 4, go on with your ideas. I'll let you finish first before I say something. Okay. What is the communicative strategy? 1, 2, 3. The answer is repair again. Number 5, have you heard the news about the latest achievement of our government? So this one might talk about some news, right? And this uses nomination. Next 5 sets of sentences. Let's have number 6. Hey, how are you? I missed you. What kind of strategy is this? Nomination. 7. Best regards to your parents. See you around. What could be the meaning of this? Or what is the strategy used? It's termination. 8. Good to see you. Anyway, I came to visit you because I want to personally offer apologies for what I did yesterday. What could be a possible strategy used here? It's repair. How about number 9? Sorry, I can't decide on that now. I am still focused on my writing assignment. Let's talk next time. Okay. This person seems very dismissive. What could be the strategy used here? It's termination. Last, now it's your turn to ask questions. And the strategy used, turn taking. I hope you enjoyed the activity time and hopefully you would be able to use that to answer your modules. Okay, on your module, you may now answer lesson proper day 2 on page 19. Here is the instructions. On the second column, write how you are going to respond effectively and appropriately on the given scenarios. On the third column, identify the strategy applied, and then on the fourth column, write the definition. So I have already discussed it with you, so I believe you would be able to know the definition and what kind of strategy used here in this particular activity. Also, you may answer activity 3 entitled Road Trip. You are now on your way to your first destination. Pack up your things and get ready. The instruction would be identify which communicative strategy is best for each of the following situations. Explain why. So there are 3 situations given in your module and identify what communicative strategy was used there. For activity 4, it's mealtime. The situation is you and your friends got hungry during the trip, so you decided to visit the most sought after restaurant in town. For the instruction, read the given situations and then employ the best communicative strategy to address the problem. Write a short skit which will show you how you will respond to the scenario. Make sure that your lines will not lead to communication breakdown. Okay, so I hope you would be guided to see those activities on your respective modules. For the question and answer part, let us have the questions asked last discussion. From Brian Luis de Guzman of Gente de Leon National High School, here is his question. Why must we apply nonverbal communication during conversations? What are the effects? My answer is nonverbal communication helps give emphasis on the message that you want to convey, thus making the communication exchange more effective. Because the way we express ourselves using our gestures and facial expressions helps provide meaning to our receiver of the message. Next, this is the second question from Zairil Amandi of Paso de Blas Senior High School. What if the person we are talking to misinterpreted our nonverbal gesture? That's actually a problem. That's why, as a speaker, we have to be conscious with our nonverbal gesture and know the background of the receiver so that we may avoid misunderstanding to happen. I hope I answered your questions. And next meeting, we're going to see each other again. Happy learning! See you on our next virtual meeting. Goodbye!